Okay guys, this is something totally different. I just got off the water. I've been thinking about this episode for over a year now. I have brought out, I did some fishing today and I brought out my crayfish trap that I bought at Cabela's. And we are going to attempt to cook these suckers up. So here's our 4 dinner guests, and from what I understand is we need to purge this. So what have been planning on for a long time is to utilize this freshwater hose, and we're going to basically run cool water through this to get these guys purged out, hopefully. So let's go with that, and we'll give them a good rinse, and we'll be back. Okay, so I am... Alright guys, so this is our setup. We have our dinner guests in the bucket. They've been purged a bunch of times, and we're just set up in the back of the truck on kind of on this little country road, just because I feel like I'm committing a crime here, but I'm not. I'm just cooking some crayfish. Anyway, so this is all ready to go. Let me get this fire started, and we'll get some water boiling. Okay, so while that water is heating up, so I do have some butter here. I'm going to be doing that separately. I'm going to put that in and melt some butter. Now, I actually assembled some ingredients a while back on, what goes into a crayfish boil, crawfish boil, whatever. Anyway, so I am going to just use this Old Bay. This is, for my purposes, just to test this out. This should work. Anyway, so I am going to get that popped open. I'll get some into the water here, and then, yeah, we'll see about adding these guys to the water.
Shake well. Then stuff with hot sauce, chili peppers, bay leaf, bay rum, hot mustard, horseradish, mule radish, and a dash of Tabasco sauce.
Okay, so we're coming to a rolling boil. I'm going to try not to boil over onto my stove here. We may have to dump out some water. Oh, maybe that was a little much. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to spare you this part. I'm not going to show me actually dumping them in the water. I don't even want to do it, so I'll show you what happens once we got them in the water. All right, so our crayfish are in the water. I did dispatch them, put them out of their misery before I dumped them in the water. I slid a little pin into their little brain stem. Anyway, so let's get these up to a boil, and then we'll do up some butter, and we'll remove the poop vein and try it out. I've never tried crayfish before. Actually, I remember, let me turn this around. I remember as a kid we used to go out and my mom would order lobster all the time. Well, not all the time, when we did go out, and that was one of her favorite things, and we would always dip our steak in the in the lobster butter, but I was never a big lobster fan, so we are going to see how this turns out. Okay, so according to Google, we cook these suckers up for 5 to 8 minutes depending on size. These guys aren't large, but they should be a bright orange when they're done. They are getting there. This guy's got a little bit more orange in them than others, but coming along. We'll give them another little bit. I want to make sure they're good and done. And then once they're done cooking, apparently I'm supposed to dump them into like cold water, which I have handy, to stop the cooking process. So we'll see. I don't know if I have a fork, but let's see what we can whip up. Okay, so we have our butter ready and our 4 crayfish. So because I don't have my GoPro with me, this is going to be tough, but essentially what you're supposed to do is you grab this little tail, grab the middle one, give it a twist, and pull the poop vein out. So I'm going to give it a whirl, and I will let you know how it works. Well, the deed is done. So what I found is that if you get the meat out, the poop vein sort of runs around the top, so you can just lift it off once you're done. So let me show you what I... So there is the meat from 4 crayfish. I kind of butchered the one, so And then, of course, the leavings. I don't know if I can get those claws open, but I'll give them a whirl. You never know. Anyway, so let's see how we do. Okay, so my first crayfish piece. That's not bad.
He won't eat it. He hates everything. He likes it.
I mean, it's got a lot of butter on it, but that's really tasty. Saving the biggest tail for last. Here we go. Wow. Okay. Okay. Yep. Now, am I going to stop going to the grocery store so that we can harvest crayfish out of the lake? Absolutely not. But that was not bad. I mean, tiny bits of meat, right? So this is where I kind of get conflicted, is that, you know, so if you kill one lobster, you get a bunch of meat. You kill 4 crayfish, so you're gonna have to kill 20 crayfish to get the meat that you get out of a lobster. So I'd have to say I'm gonna definitely eat it again, but I can definitely see, as far as the, you know, my conscience with knowledge, my conscience goes. I think I'd rather kill 1 lobster than 20 crayfish. So, but delicious, delicious. Now I'm going to try and get some meat out of these claws. I'm not holding out much hope for that, but yeah. Anyway, so this has been Cooking with the Kraken. I think I have that title. But a little bit of butter left. There's the top parts, and yeah. This isn't a cooking show, so don't subscribe for that. Anyway, thank you so much for coming along. It was a good day. It was a challenging day, but I'm glad we ended it on a high note, a tasty note. All right. As always, let's keep on cracking.